Hello, good afternoon. My name is Carla Bolivar, and today we are going to be working on one-to-one correspondence. Um, One of the things that the children in this classroom today will be working on is numbers 1 through the number 8. In front of me, I have little cutout trees that we're going to use. Try to make the activities very fun for the students. And as you can see on each tree, there is numbers. Um, the objective of this activity is to kind of help children not only identify the numbers on the tree, but also to count apples to place on the tree. So, example, you can ask a child, well, what number do you see right here? And the child might say number 5. They're going to count 5 apples and place it on the tree. So I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 apples on my tree. And if you want, you can just go back and recap with them. Well, can you count it over for me? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 apples on the apple tree. This activity, like I said, works in many ways. It helps children to identify their numbers, help them to route count. Since we're counting 1 through 8, all of the trees here are basically numbers 1 through 8. And we can also, like I said, make it fun for the children. And it is something that you can easily just wrap up and reuse. And you can put it in your manipulative area. That is a good place for the children. Just so you know that these standards fall under MD1C, counts object using one-to-one correspondence. Thank you so much, and you have a good day. Hi, this is Carla Bolivar again. Follow-up activity to the activity we just did with the one-on-one correspondence using the apples with the tree, the counting activity. Right here, I have a file folder activity that I pretty much made myself, and it's very easy for anyone to make. It's just a regular manila folder that we use, and since we are working on numbers 1 through 8, I make dots, pretty much spread them around, and it's sectioned off. And then I cut out some numbers right here, 1 through 8, so that the children then can pretty much see the numbers, and the objective would have to be to match the correct number with the correct amount of dots in the squares. So, like for instance, we have, let's see, I pick up the number 5. So the children, they can either count each block at a time. Here we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they would basically place the number 5 card on the card with the 5 dots. This activity also falls under the Bright from the Start standard, MD1C, counts objects using one-to-one correspondence. Like I said, very easy, homemade. This is something that you can use in the classroom. You can use at home. You can always just fold it up. Very easy to clean up, maneuver. This is something that you can also put in your manipulative area for individualized learning. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Hi, it is me, Carla Bolivar again, doing another follow-up activity since we are focusing on numbers, one-to-one correspondence. I have several activities here that we can use today for this activity. I always like to start my activities with a book, a song, something to kind of help the children them transition into the moment. One of the books we have is 1, 2, 3 by Osborne Baby Books. And this book basically is a number book, like how we are counting. So we have one duck, two, two penguins. You can count along with the children, have the children count along with you. 1, 2. 3 birds. 1, 2, 3. 3 birds. We have 4 frogs. Can you count along with me? 1, 2, 3, 4 frogs. Turn the page. 5 flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 flowers. We have 6 cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to incorporate, you can always say what sounds the cats make. But for the purpose of this lesson, we're going to continue counting. 7 fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, just to give you a concept of the book. It's a good way to introduce your topic, good way for transition, like I said. One of the things that I have here in the classroom that we like to use is the number train. With this number train, we have numbers 1 through 5, and the kids are able to put the numbers together, run them in route. We have the number 1, we have the number 2, we have the number 3, we have the number 4, and we have the number 5. They can also find the other pieces, which has the actual shape of the number. So they can fit it into the train piece, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. The thing that I like about this particular activity is multi-purpose. We're building fine motor, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number recognition, and we're actually putting a puzzle together. So it's serving many purposes. Then we have the pegs to go onto the train. So let's say we have 1 hole for the number 1. So we can count number 1. We have 2 holes for the number 2. We have 1. We have 2. We have number 3. Look at big number 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we have number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is a very good lesson. The kids can take it down. They can actually build one on top of the other. They can stack high, and they can count like this as well. So it serves many purposes, but this is a good activity to have in the classroom. Another good activity I have, everyone knows the little number chart, and it works pretty good. This one is 1 to 7, and I like to use buttons. Anything that we use, we have to make sure it's age appropriate for the children that we're working with. Since we're working with 4-year-olds, buttons are pretty good for the 4-year-olds. They're durable. They're not really hard for them to swallow. But we have several buttons right here, and it's the same concept, one-to-one correspondence. We identify the number 1, so they place 1 button. We identify the number 2, put 1, 2 buttons. Identify the number 3, 1, 2, 3 buttons. Identify the number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Identify the number 5. And we go so on and so on. That's the kind of concept to this activity. One of the good things is you can make several of these, and you can put it in your manipulatives area, and you can have it there, And as the children then come, they can just pull out the paper and they can work on the activity. It's a very good activity for individualized lesson. And it is also one of those activities where you can do continuous learning. Let's say maybe we want to work on patterns, red, blue, red, blue. How many do we have? We have 4. What is the patterns? Red, blue. So that is a very good activity as well. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Hi, it's me, Carla Bolivar again, and one of the things that I like to do when we're learning or we're introducing anything new to the children is try to see if we can demonstrate it in every learning area, every learning domain. Earlier we had library where we read the book with the one-on-one correspondence, 1 fish, 2 birds, and we counted the objects out. We also demonstrated manipulative. That's a very common place for you to identify math. But we can also do it in science as well. Right here we have magnets, and I have 1 magnet to 1 paper clip. I have 1 red magnet to 1 red paper clip. Inside of these, the reason why I say paper clip, we have paper clips inside of the paper. It's very easy for you to make. You just put paper clips in there. You can staple it, stick it with glue. However, it's easier for you. Put it in science area. It's very easy for the kids then to just go in there and explore on their own. But that is a good way to demonstrate one-on-one correspondence, in the science area. Then we have the housekeeping area. As you can see, I'd already laid it out for you guys. But we have all different colors. We have blue, red, green, and yellow. It's a good way to show. You can count. Well, how many cups do I see? I see 4. If you want to, you mix it up a little bit, have them all mixed up, and then the children have to match it by color. It's a good way for continuous learning, ongoing. Every child learns at a different level, at a different pace. Some children are coming in, and something as simple as matching colors, we can work at this. We can work on this first, and then we can count how many objects is there. So 1 fork for 1 plate, 1 cup for 1 plate. Something real easy and simple that we can work on in the science area. And then over here we have just real simple. It's really for art, but we have these sentences strips, and I don't know if you can see very well, but we have the numbers on the sentences strips. We have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right here I have the dots. The kids love to play with the dots. So let's say for number 1, how many dots are we going to put there? We're going to put 1 dot. How many dots are we going to put right there? Because what number is this? This is the number 2. So I'm going to put 2 dots. I see the number 3. How many dots am I going to put right there? 1, 2, 3. Oh, then I see number 4. How many dots would I put? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the thing that I like the most about these kind of activities is that we can always date it, and we can always show as demonstration that the child understands the concept of the activity. This is a very good way of showing one-on-one correspondence. Used for counting, use the numbers, identify the numbers, and let's count the dots. Like I said, very easy, very simple. Put a lot of sentences strips in your art area, and it would be a very good activity for the children them to do. So like I said, hopefully this would be helpful to you guys. I encourage for the children and the teachers to kind of use open-ended questions while they're doing the activities. How many, how much? Let's see, if I take this one away, if I put it back. It's always good to get to spark that imagination in their mind, spark that thinking. So like I said, hopefully this would be helpful to you. Thank you so much and have a good day.